Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Can you believe the weekend's gone already? Well, it's Monday. The good news is Monday's just about over, so you've got that going for you. You've also got some snow in the forecast, another round of wintry weather, the last in a series of disturbances moving into the Ohio Valley tonight. It's going to pull some moist air into the region, overriding a cold air mass in place of eastern Kentucky, and we could see some heavy downpours of the white stuff, specifically over a short time frame, realistically. And all that will kind of be going on right at or right before the morning commuter rush hour. So, could be a snow day in our midst. Kids, tell you more about it in just a second. I've got filing updates from last week that I didn't have on Friday's program that I don't have tonight. Some other news superseding that. We'll get to that. I've already got a full schedule for the rest of the week, and I'm sure, as always, more will work into that. So be sure and stay with us. But tonight, we'll focus a great deal of time on Morgan County Judge Executive Tim Conley and a Sagersville couple, owners of a Sagersville contracting business, all involved in the scheme of kickbacks and fraud, as a sealed indictment was unsealed today, and as Morgan County Judge Executive Tim Conley was taken into custody by federal authorities. A local contracting company here in Sagersville netting a little more than $1 million with projects, and then some of that money going back to Conley for rigging the bidding process. It's a long and lengthy indictment, but we'll have all the details for you in just a few moments. And I will take you back to one report from last week, and that is the Civil War Committee, and big deal for them and for the community as well. And if you're waiting for the parade coverage, it was a beautiful parade, but it's not going to be on tonight. Give me some time. A lot to edit. I had a couple of cameras rolling. I'll get it all clipped together and put a little holiday tune to it, and we'll have it for you maybe on a Friday as we go out for the week or something special throughout the holidays. And I'm probably going to show it on more than one occasion, but it will make for a wonderful, wonderful holiday program. So be sure and stay tuned for that. In your weather forecast, we do have the last in a series of disturbances moving into the Ohio Valley tonight, pulling some moist air into the region. That's going to override a cold air mass firmly in place over eastern Kentucky, and that's going to set the stage, says the National Weather Service and all computer models, for a quick hit of some snowfall that could total a couple of inches in a short period of time. And it also could all be happening or just starting to wind down maybe right around the same time as the morning commute. Precipitation is going to start as snow late this evening, moving from the south to the north with time. Locations along and southeast of the Hal Rogers Parkway may see a period of sleet from onset until just a few hours before dawn. Snow accumulations will vary a bit across the area late tonight, from around an inch of snow in the far north to around 3 inches over far eastern parts of the area, and locally higher snowfall amounts may be possible depending on where any heavier bands set up. As far as the time frame you're looking at it, we should start to get in on the action maybe a flake or two before, but some heavy stuff possibly anywhere from 3 to 5 in the a.m. Right now, models show that Sagersville, Magoffin County, Floyd, West Liberty, all those in on the 1 to 3 inch category. More so, Johnson and some of Floyd and other eastern Kentucky counties may see a little more sleet. The more sleet, the less snow that you'll see as far as total accumulation. But we're all going to get on some wintry stuff, and the Jackson Weather Service is concurring with a lot of other computer models that we've seen today that indicate a good, healthy 2 inches of snowfall is a likelihood for a whole lot of us. But your most recent update is coming up in a few moments, and there's a good chance we'll have some changing information one way or the other. I'll get to our top story from Morgan County and West Liberty in just a few moments, but first, from the West Liberty Police Department, the Family Dollar store next to the IGA in the plaza there in West Liberty was the subject of a burglary over the course of the weekend, and police are now searching for some leads. It's under investigation by Sergeant Tim Smedley with the West Liberty Police Department. Reports from the department say that the Family Dollar, located in the IGA Plaza in West Liberty, was opened Sunday morning by employees, and they came in to find that the store had been burglarized over the course of the overnight hours before. It closed at 10 o'clock Saturday night, so sometime between 10 p.m. and then opening Sunday morning. Thieves broke into the store. Authorities have not released how they made their way in, but once inside, they made their way off with an undetermined amount of cigarettes and cash from the business. It's still under investigation. Police are hoping that someone may have seen someone in or around the area, or that maybe the sale of said cigarettes might also be a lead to authorities. If you have any information, contact the West Liberty PD. But, of course, our top story from West Liberty and Morgan County is the arrest today by federal authorities of Morgan County Judge Executive Tim Conley. And this report also involves a Sagersville business that netted more than $1 million from projects Major kickback scheme alleges federal authorities. We'll get to that indictment and other details right after these words. From time and money saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Sagersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Sagersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time. Game time means wing time at Lee's, and that means it's time for you to try our new buffalo wings. I can't tell you our secret, but I can tell you they're marinated and then rolled in our famous, albeit a little spicy, crispy chicken batter and served up with any of our 7 delectable sauces. So get your hands on a meal or a box today at your Sagersville Lee's famous recipe, where no one does chicken like we do chicken.
This is John at Premier Motor Sales in Paintsville, Kentucky. We appreciate y'all shopping with us, and if you're in the market for a used vehicle, we carry all sorts of different kinds of makes and models. For example, here I have a 2009 Chevy Malibu LT. I also have a 2010 Toyota Corolla S. It's no problem to find you what you're looking for. Give us a call at 297-4121 in Paintsville, Kentucky.
Whoa! Head over to Home Furniture to lighten my load and get a great deal.
Bundle packages are here. Purchase TVs, receive your choice of a Blu-ray, DVD, Xbox 360, or Wii game system. Purchase a mattress set, get a free sheet set and mattress pad. Purchase an adult recliner, receive a free kids recliner. Financing for 36 months, 0% interest to qualified buyers. Home Furniture, Highlands Plaza, Prestonsburg.
As we remember while we honor the season and get ready to embrace a bright new year, we'd like to take just a moment to wish you and all those you know and love the merriest of Christmases and happiest of New Years. From your home away from home for short-term rehabilitation or long-term nursing needs, all with a standard of excellence and a tradition of caring. Merry Christmas from Sagersville Nursing and Rehabilitation.
Hi, I'm Don McFarland. I want to be your family lawyer. If you've been injured on the job, if you're interested in getting your Social Security disability or SSI benefits, or if you've been injured because of someone else's negligence, or basically, if a car wreck has caused you to suffer pain, then pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne, 349-9000.
His office and home were raided back in August of this year by federal and state authorities, and now Timothy Alexander Conley, Tim Conley, Morgan County Judge Executive, has officially been charged with soliciting and accepting kickbacks from a Salyersville bridge contractor in exchange for contract awards. This all according to a federal indictment that was officially unsealed earlier today. The indictment filed under seal on Thursday, December the 5th, officially charges Judge Conley and then Kenneth Lee Gamble and Ruth Gamble of Sagersville, co-owners of PBTHNOJJ Construction, with numerous offenses arising from a kickback scheme. Conley and Kenneth Gamble are both charged with 4 counts of mail fraud and 1 count of theft from a program receiving federal funds. All 3 defendants are also charged with conspiring to launder money. This goes back to 2009 and goes through 2013, August of this year, and also involves some federal money that came from tornado recovery in West Liberty. Specifically, the indictment alleges that from early 2009 through August of 2013, as part of a mail fraud scheme, Conley rigged competitive bidding processes to select PBTHNOJJ Construction of Sagersville, owned by the Gambles, for Morgan County construction contracts. And then after obtaining those PBTHNOJJ Construction payments for those contracts, then Kenneth Gamble would deliver to Conley cash kickbacks from the contract's proceeds. In addition, Conley and Kenneth Gamble are charged with defrauding a federally funded program. The indictment says that Conley misappropriated money from Morgan County, which was getting federal funding for emergency services, that being debris cleanup and rebuilding efforts following the tornado, of course, that tore through and did so much damage to West Liberty on March the 2nd of 2012. As part of the debris cleanup effort, Morgan County contracted with the Gamble's construction company and other entities. Connolly allegedly then abused his position to ensure that Gamble's company would receive excessive payments for this work, money over the amounts that were allowed by the federal government. It also alleges that Connolly, Kenneth Gamble, and Ruth Gamble are charged with conspiring to launder the proceeds of these crimes in order to promote ongoing illegal activities and conceal the nature and source of the funds, among other things. Kerry Harvey, assistant or attorney for the Eastern District of Kentucky, special agent in charge, Harry Turner of the FBI, Jack Conway, Attorney General of Kentucky, all formally announced the indictment today. The investigation preceding the indictment was conducted by the FBI, the Attorney General's office, and others. As for what happens now, the indictment was presented to a grand jury by U.S. Assistant Attorney Andrew T. Boone. Connolly is set to be in court, federal court that is, tomorrow at 3 p.m. for arraignment. Kenneth Gamble is going to appear in court on December the 30th in Lexington, Kentucky. A date for Ruth Gamble to appear has not been scheduled as of yet. The mail fraud and money laundering counts each carry a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. The federal program fraud count carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. The maximum fine for each count is $250,000. In all, it's a 13-page indictment that outlines how Connolly and the Gambles devised and intended to devise a scheme to facilitate fraud, obtain money and property by means of materially falsifying or fraudulent pretenses, and to deprive Morgan County and its people of the right that they had to honest and faithful services of Connolly through bribery, kickbacks, and the concealment of material information. It outlines how he reportedly rigged competitive bidding processes in order to select the Gamble's construction company. Among other methods, he would open bids outside of public view and private, alter the bid process to ensure that Gamble's company would receive the work in exchange for an undetermined amount of cash. Well, an unknown in some cases, but a determined amount of cash between the two sides of the fraud. And federal authorities say that as a result of the scheme from early 2009 to August of this year, that the Gamble's construction company received more than $1.1 million in proceeds from contracts with Morgan County. That amount of money listed as one part of the forfeiture allegation per the indictment, as well as several other amounts, several thousands of dollars in some cases in United States currency, and some from a few banks within the area. And once again, the mail fraud and money laundering counts each carry a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. That's per each count, while the federal program fraud count carries a maximum penalty of 10 years behind bars. More headlines in a few moments. Right now, it's time for announcements on behalf of tonight's community calendar, brought to you on behalf of McGoffin Farm Bureau and your local agent, Doug Green. Calendar announcements this Monday, December the 9th, begin with a birthday wish. Happy 6th birthday. This is Adam Grayson Tackett. From his mom, his dad, his grandma, his family, and friends. Join them and say happy birthday. Happy 6th birthday to Adam Grayson Tackett. With a few apologies, I've got a few announcements that I've got typed in. I just am not being able to access at this moment, so let me just read them to you instead of letting you watch as I read. And I've only got a couple real quick ones. That is a reminder that the ladies of the Burning Fork Community Church are making and selling chocolate-covered strawberries. I've got a picture. I just can't get it to come up right now. Gorgeous big strawberries, at least 9 to a box. They're packaged in a beautiful Christmas gift for anyone on your list. $20 per box, and they've got all sorts of flavors: crushed pretzels and coconut, and mini M&Ms and colored confections, and mini chocolate chips and white chocolate drizzle. And oh, I'm getting so hungry. The orders will be delivered December the 10th and the 11th, and then again the week of December 17th and 18th, so you can still get an order in. Great gift for somebody that might be hard to buy for, or something to have nice around the holidays for some company when they come over. 349-6400 is the number to the Burning Fork Church. And also from our local Order of the Eastern Star, they're having their annual Christmas dinner this Saturday at the Sagersville Masonic Lodge Hall. And Eastern Star members, Masonic and Rainbow members, and their families are invited to attend. The chapters Going to have the turkey ham rolls and soda. Members are asked to bring salads, vegetables, desserts, and so on. There's going to be an ornament exchange, so please bring one if you want to participate. And Santa will be there for the little ones, and maybe the little ones at heart even. So if you want your child to receive a gift, please provide one with their name on it. If you've got any questions, contact the worthy matron, Tiffany Gasparic, at 793-2142. I'll get the number up on the screen and have it for you tomorrow. My apologies. That's all for calendar announcements, but I do see that we've received one funeral service announcement this evening, in part at least, from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. As our nightly funeral service sponsor, the McGoffin County Funeral Home also tells me that they have services pending on behalf of 47-year-old Nellis Marie Penix of Daleville, Alabama, formerly of McGoffin County. She passed away on Saturday over the course of this past weekend at her home. We're told she survived by her husband, Ronald, and we're also told that arrangements are still incomplete at this hour, but to be announced soon, later by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. We'll have...
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Howdy, Hatfield. I reckon I'll take my pig back.
Ain't your pig.
Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is, and I can prove it. Ma, I just sent a picture of our missing pig. Tell everybody it's time to start feuding.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I guess ain't gonna be no feud. Real nice picture, though.
We'll put it on Instagram.
Appalachian Wireless's 4G. Great pictures, video, text, and talk. Bigger savings, better service. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
It's a time to cherish and a time to remember the reason, and to pause and relish in the joy and spread the spirit of the Christmas season. And it's best done with a holiday stop at the Seasonal Shop in Sagersville, where the trees, from simple to lavish, are all gleaming with Christmas cheer, and where the decor, the colors, textures, and designs all come together as we hope with your family and friends this Christmas. So let the Seasonal Shop help brighten your home with a little festive decorating, from an ornament to adorn your tree, or a complete collection to warm your hearts and homes. The region's biggest and brightest selection of holiday decor this side of the North Pole is at Fraser's Prater Drug Seasonal Shop in downtown Sagersville. The 2014 Terexes are in with a newly redesigned 800cc power plant and a new 2-seat configuration. And the XP1000 is on the ground, 107 horsepower and a world-class suspension, plus Polaris financing as low as 2.99%, 5.99% for up to 72 months. But it's only good till the end of the year at Connolly's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville. They've got muck boots for the hills and the mud, work boots for on and off the job, like the newest and maybe most comfortable, hardest working Red Wing ever. They've got Western boots for kicking up your heels, and a whole new store full of the newest styles from all the famous makers you love, like Wrangler, Carhartt, Ariat, Miss Me, Leathers by Scully, and more at the brand spanking new Red's Boot Barn in Sagersville. It's so new it doesn't even have a name, but it does have an amazing taste all its own. 4 pancakes, butter, syrup, plus your choice of any of our dozens of DQ toppings with a little whipped cream on top, and of course some of our world-famous DQ soft serve. And you can add bacon, sausage, or even a little country ham for a full-blown breakfast treat. So sink your taste buds into a quarter or even half-pound grill burger fixed exactly like you like it. And you want to know the best part? James says you can have either one for breakfast as early as you want, but only at your Sagersville DQ. Sagersville Medical Center is proud to welcome their newest provider and member of the family, family nurse practitioner Erica Blackburn. caring for children's sick and well visits, adult acute and chronic conditions, and women's health issues. And they're pleased to invite you to join them for a meet and greet in her honor and yours on Friday, December the 13th from 3 to 5 at Sagersville Medical Center. They're serving refreshments and giving away door prizes. You don't have to be present to win, but they look forward to seeing you as they embark on their exciting future with their newest provider, Erica Blackburn, family nurse practitioner. It is simply astounding to stop and think about how successful and how far our Civil War Reenactment Committee has come in the past several years. What started off as a reenactment, rejuvenating the interest and history of our Civil War here in Dauphin County and those who fought and the history that belongs so richly to our people. They have really come much further than that. It's much more than reenactments. And now it's going to be much more evident than that, with a serious amount of money to go towards the building and construction of our Civil War Park. Now, it's been something that's been in the thought process for quite some time and on the drawing board. But this past Friday night, the committee received, or at least made acknowledgement of the receipt of a sizable amount of funding to make the project a reality.
We're very fortunate to get these grants. First of all, the county was kind enough to, the fiscal court was kind enough to be the applicant, because it had to be a county or a city that applied. And the court and the judge have been very instrumental in helping us put this application together and in giving their support to it. The first application that we submitted was to the Recreational Trails Grant Program, and the title of that project is the Battle of Puncheon Cultural and Heritage Park Interpretive Walking and Bicycling Trail. And we submitted that grant in March of this past year, and we have just been notified that we have received what we requested, which the total project is a little over a couple $100,000. We're going to get $90,000 from this grant, and the rest of it, a lot of that cost is going to be made up by actual doing the work ourselves through volunteers, through the county workers. We'll be doing some work there, so there'll be a lot of things that aren't really going to cost money, but they have a value to the project and they help make our match. So we're extreme. This grant is very competitive in the state. There was probably about 20 or 30 projects that were submitted that weren't even awarded. So you're among the elite that in the state that applied that did get awarded. And what this project will do is it will build a walking trail. It'll have interpretive kiosks along the way that will tell your own story, so that when visitors come to the area, they can learn about the battlefield as well as the culture and the history of the area. And those interpretive kiosks are not going to just be just the old-time ones like you used to see. They're actually going to be interactive in that you'll be able to access them with your smartphone. You'll be able to get a lot more information from one than just what you see. They'll be made out of very, very durable materials. They won't be just a simple type wood product. They'll be a product that doesn't fade. It's sun resistant. It's graffiti resistant. It's a very nice material, and the trail will be paved, so it'll be 10 foot wide. Really? And it'll go around the whole perimeter there of the park. There'll also be an access area for parking that'll be made there, that you'll be able to pull in and park, and go ahead and the trail can be used for not only for tourism, for people who come here and they want to learn about your area. It can also be used by all the citizens of McGoffin County and the surrounding counties can use it for exercise. They can come out. There's not a lot of places right now in McGoffin County if you're looking for somewhere.
That is Regina McClure, as you saw at the bottom of your screen with the Big Sandy ad, and it is through a great deal of her tireless efforts that this has come to completion, or near completion as far as it has, to this point. The last time I spoke with her, I showed you the plans as they were drawn out and depicted, and I can recall her then being a little optimistic about when these funds might be coming. And the camera that filmed this, I was not there this past Friday when she was with members of the local Civil War reenactment group to gather to make the formal announcement of 2 separate grants, the money of these grants, along with the in-kind services being used to develop our Civil War Park adjacent to South McGoffin School. But I am sure that she was very excited, as was the Civil War Reenactment Committee, to have received these as quickly as they have. And as you heard, it was a pretty good fight for who was going to get them. One of the decisive battles in the Civil War took place on Punchin Creek, and now that history is going to be there for all to see and enjoy in a variety of different manners, as you heard Regina say. Phase 1 of the park will also provide a 10-foot wide walking path, as she mentioned. It's a half-mile in length. I showed you the layout the last time we had this report on the program. The picnic tables, the grill, the kiosks, all the information about the battle, the interaction with the kiosk as well. Grants for $90,000 and $30,000 already on the top of the planning stages will make this become a reality much sooner than what we had originally thought. It will be a great addition to McGoffin County and a great way to preserve our Civil War history. So now you know. I presume possibly the next story we'll have will be maybe breaking ground for the project. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to Randall about it soon. Randall Reisner, who of course is a big part of our Civil War reenactments and our committee, and we'll be doing a follow-up to this just as soon as possible. We wish to congratulate them for all their hard work, and without the introduction of these Civil War reenactments back in or into our community, none of this would have become a reality, and none of us would know as much about our Civil War history as we do. Now the last order of business for today is your Licking Valley RECC forecast, where, as I mentioned at the start of the program, the last in a series of disturbances moving into the Ohio Valley tonight, bringing in some moisture into the region, and it's going to override the cold air mass in place over eastern Kentucky, and we're going to get a quick hit of some snowfall, and 1 to 2 inches right now is our latest update. Now, in some isolated areas, some bands may pick up some or render some heavier snowfall, and you know, it's not out of the realm of possibility that we'll see a little more than the 2 inches in some areas, especially the upper elevations of eastern Kentucky most definitely will. I had 35 for the low this morning and topped out at 41 for the day. We're down to 37 here at the early program on holding steady at this moment, but temperatures are going to fall to a low of 24 tonight. As for the time frame, mainly after 3 a.m. is when we get in on the action of snowfall, and that snowfall could be heavy at times. So the bottom line is watch your early morning commute. Kids, I don't want to say turn those alarms off yet, but there is the likelihood, or at least the possibility, of a snow day in our midst. Not going to be a monster of a snowstorm, but could make roads slushy, snow-covered, and slick for the early morning commute. It's going to be slow warming up to a daytime high of a sunny 32. So anything that falls is going to stick around for a while in the morning. It's going to make things dicey. Snow mainly before 11. Then we're going to clear up. Late afternoon, we'll see clear skies, a low of 18 for tomorrow night. Into your Wednesday, we've got sunny skies and a high of 39 and a low of 16. Partly cloudy. We're going to stay right at that 40-degree mark, give or take, for a couple of days. 40 on Friday, 42 on your Saturday with some rain. 37 Sunday, 29 degrees for your low on Monday of next week, 1 week from today. So indeed, it's going to be winter all week long, and none more so than tonight, when we could get in on a couple of inches of the white stuff. Regardless, if you have to get out early in the morning, be sure to check road conditions if you can. If you can, just stay home and watch from the warmth. With that said, a whole lot to catch up on when I see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending some time with us. Good night.